Hello, and today I'm going to be talking about the airplanes did you know of today. So here are 6 interesting facts that you might have not heard of before. So this is today's did you know. Number 1. So remember the Boeing 737 MAX, that horrible airplane with the MCAS system that tried to override pilots when the angle of attack got too high, and then the pilots crashed because they couldn't regain control of the yoke? Well, it's still under investigation with the FAA because the FAA is too scared to put it back into operation because it might cause serious crashes again. Even though Boeing said they have already made improvements to the system and made sure the pilots still get control over the yoke, even after the MCAS system has detected an abnormally high angle of attack. So the situation with the 737 MAX is basically that it's still being grounded and investigated by the FAA. Number 2. So another word for an airplane's ignition switch is called the magneto switch. Now, it's not just cars that have ignition switches. Airplanes need to turn on their engines somehow, and in the cockpit there's a switch that you can use to turn on the engines. And this is mostly found in propeller planes, although jet planes still have them. Another word for ignition switch is called a magneto switch. And when the magneto switch is off, we say that it's off, but however, when it's on, we say that it's a contact, because in noisy conditions, you might not be able to tell the difference between system off and system on. That's why we call it contact when it's on. Number 3. So General Electric Aviation's latest engine, the GE9X, which is going to be used on the brand new Boeing 777X, produces a whopping 134,300 pound-feet of torque, thrust at maximum. So that is the world record, actually, that GE just broke there. Their previous world record was 127,000 of takeoff thrust with the GE90, the old engine. Now with the GE9X, they broke it again. They broke the record again and went all the way up to 134,000. So that's a lot of takeoff thrust. Number 4. So whenever an airplane enters a full stall, this means that when an airplane pitches up too high, so I'm going to show you here with this model of the A380. So when an airplane pitches up higher than about here, it goes like this, almost vertical, then that's called a stall. And when a full stall happens, that's what this is called, this usually results in a spin, a corkscrew motion, where the airplane travels rapidly downward in a corkscrew motion like this, circling down to the ground. That's what happens after the airplane enters a full stall. And usually to correct this, what you need to do is at the very bottom of the corkscrew action, you need to rapidly pull up so you can pull out of the stall. So you would do, and then you would rapidly pull back up out of the stall. That's what you would do. Okay. Number 5, the elevators, or also called stabilizers, on a plane control the pitch and angle of attack, which again, the angle of attack is the pitch of an airplane, how high the nose is facing up into the air. So the elevators or stabilizers control that, and they are located on the tail wing. So the elevators would be right about here on the tail wing. So these are the elevators. The trim is also along here and on the tail wing, such as stabilizers right there, elevators. Alright, and then pilots use a technique, number 6, called round out during landing to make sure that the plane does not hit the runway too hard. However, too much round out can cause ballooning. So round out is basically when the plane is coming in to land, right before it hits the runway, the pilot slowly pitches it up so that it won't ram headlong with a crash right into the runway, because that would cause some serious damage to the plane. So it would do like it was coming into the runway, and then it would slowly pitch back up, but not too much pitch up, because if the airplane pitched up too far, it would cause ballooning. And ballooning is when the round out is too severe and the plane starts to lift off the ground again and take off, which is definitely not what you want during a landing. So that's today's Airplanes Did You Know of the Day. Goodbye. Stay tuned for more Did You Knows.